What we found underneath Kentucky Revised Statutes, underneath the driving under the influence statute, one of our legislators put in that any type of video evidence or video from a car must be maintained for 26 months. Why he picked 26 months, I don't know, but right now we're holding about 15,000 VHS tapes that I wish he could see and have to deal with every day. That it's a monster. Putting those, just the sheer storage space, and then going into the personnel costs associated with it, we have 8 patrol districts. If you make an arrest on a DUI, you immediately have to take that tape out and it becomes evidence, which means a fellow could go through 2 or 3 tapes a night in some cases. That has to be dropped into evidence at the division where he signs out a chain of evidence form to log it in. That next morning or on the weekdays, Monday through Friday, a sergeant will pick up those tapes out of the depository. He has to, in turn, sign on the chain of evidence, log into the tapes, take them to the property room where the clerk has to handle those tapes, label the tapes, has to log them in at the property room, and they become evidence, just like a handgun in a homicide. It's the same thing. And you can see that it's being touched by a lot of people, and a lot of time is taken up in just handling that particular tape. The clerks it's a monster for the clerks at the property room. Plus, if an officer has a case that the tape's in evidence, he has to go by the property room, have them draw that tape out, and make a copy of it for him to take with him to court. So it's really a horrendous amount of time being used on the VHS tapes, on the officers getting copies and logging them in. We began to look at replacing the 2 legacy systems that we had. We were trying to determine what direction do we want to go. Well, this is one of the main issues. How can we stop or get away from all this handling of VHS tapes and depositing it into evidence? Sure, it took a lot of manpower and some expense associated with that. The requirements that we were looking for, we already had mobile data computers in a majority of the cars, and figuring we're probably only using about 20% of its capacity, why not use it for other things? So we were looking at if there was a digital system available that would work with the in-car computer so that we could take advantage of the larger screen, the touch screen on the in-car computers that we use. We use Panasonic CF27s, 28s, 29s, and now 30s. Ability to update the video by different methods. We're looking at if we did take video in the car, there are a lot of folks that were offering burn the DVD in the car. You can use a memory stick. You can use wireless. We were looking at something where we could get away from having to touch it, physically touch it. So we were looking at a wireless solution for it. The camera was just as important as the recording device. We wanted something with low lux, something that could get infrared, the ability to zoom, wide angle. Audio, this is another important element. We wanted a digital wireless microphone. We wanted distance on it. Something that battery life was important, something that we could depend on. Our mid-shift works 10-hour shifts. Sometimes the special details or whatever, it's not unusual for an officer to maybe work 12 hours. We wanted something that would have a battery life that would extend at least past the 10 hours. And since we have a take-home fleet, it would involve a charging system either in the car or a desktop charging system that when he or she got home, they could charge the microphone. And that was very important. The video file integrity in the car, what we were talking about was that the officers, just like now, for instance, with the VHS tapes, most recorders, the tape's locked into the car. Maybe a supervisor is the only person that has a key to it that can take that out. We basically wanted to do the same thing with the digital, make it to where the officer couldn't alter the video, or take it out, replace it. So we were looking to make sure that there was integrity. No questions would come up about the videotape or any tampering with it. The management system, some type of back-end software that would let us, allow us to be able to label the videos, the digital video, label it by who the officer was, a date, time, perhaps the vehicle he was driving, and capture all those elements, and make it easier for us to search later on.